Well, members of the Israeli parliament have approved a major part of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's controversial judicial reform plan. This will take away much of the Supreme Court's power. Police are clashing with protesters outside in an attempt to disperse crowds. Netanyahu participated in the vote following surgery to install a pacemaker over the weekend. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer has been following this story and has more from London. Elizabeth, first and foremost, thank you for joining us. And obviously this news just breaking, but help us to understand the significance of this approval.
Well, Israel is rather unique in that it doesn't have a constitution and it also doesn't have an upper chamber. It doesn't have a Senate or the equivalent. And so when the parliament passes legislation or the government makes a decision, it's been up to the Supreme Court to send it back, to go, look, this is unreasonable, you have to think again, go and redraft it. This amendment, this law that's just passed in the Senate, called the reasonableness law, takes away that power from the Supreme Court. And so people who are opposed to it, and as you've seen from the pictures, there are millions, say that it is the beginning of the end of Israel's democracy because it undermines judicial independence, which is the only check on the executive branch's power.
When you think about the focus of the many people in the streets and sort of the widespread protests, I mean, what is next? Because you protest with so much. We know that the change has happened. Is there any recourse for the people who are out there and concerned? Because as you noted, this is a place that doesn't even have a constitution, and this was sort of the last checks and balance on the government there.
That's right. And the way it happened in Parliament, so the Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition has a majority of 10, and all the opposition walked out, so leaving just over half the chamber to vote. So the vote was actually 64-0. That is a real expression of how many Israelis and what a large proportion of the lawmakers were opposed. That's going to fan the flames. I'm not sure. I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen next. There has been talk of a general strike. Protesters say they're in it for the long haul. We're just going to have to see. But the fear is that there's going to be civil unrest that turns to violence.
Yeah, and I know that the president here in the United States had made some comments. Are we hearing anything as of late in terms of the criticism coming from the White House right now?
Gentle admonishment, if you like, pointing to the fact that it had divided the country and was really fragmenting Israel's society. Now, the U.S. administration could decide on more muscular intervention, but that, too, I think we're just going to have to wait and see. Benjamin Netanyahu wants to be invited to the White House. I would say, at the very least, he can forget that for now.